God, I hope that shaking this whole table didn't affect anything. Welcome to the podcast. I don't even know if I should put this in a situation here. Let's see. I don't know if that looks good. It might ruin my polo situation here. Wait, hold on. I need to see how this looks. Let's look real quick. See what I look like, because I can't look. Okay, it doesn't affect it too bad. Definitely, it's a little weird, but we'll let it slide for today. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. We're gonna drink some coffee here at 11 o'clock at night, so that's interesting, always interesting. I don't have any topics prepared for this video, but I do have an episode with my friend Jose that should be coming out pretty soon, that it's gonna be very good. I'm thinking about making him co-host of the podcast. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how good he is in this next in the episode. But welcome to I don't even know if this is a show or a podcast, because I do want to do lives eventually. Once I get a better laptop and I can actually run like streams on it, then I'll just do the lives, and I think it'll be a lot better because then I answer questions. Because I thought about asking questions on Instagram and then people answering them, but I don't know, people on my Instagram are kind of weird. It's like one of those situations where I'll get 300 views on my Instagram stories, and then I post something and I get like 20 likes on it. It's so weird, because like, how did I go from 300 views to 20 likes a post? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, that's just weird. So it's like, I don't have a lot of engagement on my Instagram. But anyways, man, I feel like I'm talking so loud and I'm not. This room has a lot of echo. Thank God for these mics. So I don't really have any topics. I don't know why I have my laptop out. Oh, okay. I did want to talk about two things this podcast. Okay. First things is, I kind of wanted to maybe talk about my introduction to entrepreneurship, right? I thought that would be a very good video. Kind of how I got started on my, not self-improvement, because I think being an entrepreneur and having drive to want to do more and become wealthy, I don't think that's self-improvement, because I think self-improvement can be in anything, like self-improvement is you wanting to reach your ultimate, form as a human being. And that could be, spiritual, physically, but I feel like entrepreneurship is different because it's just all business, I don't think entrepreneurship really includes a lot of fitness unless that makes you money, then it does. So I feel like my self-improvement journey, I'll start that on another episode, another podcast, or maybe I don't even know if it, I don't know, we'll see. But my entrepreneur journey, no one cares right now, right? But when they do care, at least I'll have something to go back and be like, that's how you started, right? So I used to have a channel, by the way, with like 2,500 subscribers on it that I deleted because it had just too much of my personal life on there, and I didn't want, that much information about me out. So it's kind of, I've already discussed some of these topics before on that channel. So if you are from that channel and you see this, you already know this. So, but anyways, for the new people, so how I got started on my entrepreneur, like I guess on my business mentality, right? I'll start off with when I first started having the ideas, right? Like I said, this has nothing to do with self-improvement. I was not on self-improvement at all when I was on the entrepreneur journey, which I still am, but now I'm on self-improvement, like everything, just be the best version that I can. But this is just business-wise and money-wise. So when I first started on my entrepreneur journey, I was 16, right? And actually, no, let's go back. When I first started my entrepreneur, this is like the very, very beginnings of my entrepreneur journey. This is how I knew I was meant to be a businessman, okay? So I was in 4th grade. Whoa, when I talk, it like echoes like crazy, like bigger than I thought. It does like this crazy vibration. Anyways, it's my ADHD, I'm tripping up right now. It actually started when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I think 4th grade, right? And I've always been a bad kid, I just always had to do bad things, I always had to stress teachers out and piss people off, and I guess maybe it was like an attention mechanism, like I wanted to get attention maybe type of thing. So anyways, I just behaved really bad all the time. So I don't know if you guys remember this, if you were born in like 1998 and up, maybe before they were doing this already, probably. Maybe they still do it. But anyways, when you're in like elementary school, they have like these boards, right? And there's like 3 cards, the red card, yellow card, green card, right? So if you behaved bad, you know, you'd get the red card. If you behaved okay, you get a yellow card. And if you behaved good all day, you got the green card, right? So at the end of the day, right, if you got a green card, the teacher had this fake money in the school, like this fake, you know, fake money. You'd get $10, right, at the end of the day of the fake money. If you got the yellow card, you get 5. If you got the red card, you'd get 0, right? And so then at the end of the week on Fridays, you'd be able to sell, like you'd be able to buy things that the teacher would sell, like, I don't know, just dumb things like little toys, pencils, pens, you know, just like shit like elementary kids buy. So me being the genius that I am, right? Since I couldn't behave good because I just thought school was so boring and I couldn't sit there and listen to the teacher talk, right? Because it's just boring. I can't. And I just didn't feel like I was benefiting from doing this. Like I'm sitting there learning this stuff that I don't care about. You know, I don't know. Like I just knew I didn't need that. My whole life I knew I was like, I don't need school. I don't know why I just felt that way. But I needed it to learn how to speak, but other than that, just a lot of the stuff they would teach, it was just so boring. And I couldn't, and I still struggle with that nowadays. I struggle a lot with being bored. I'm bored all the time. And I do a lot of interesting things all day, every day. I'm always doing something extremely interesting. But even when let's say like, if someone goes like, oh, you gotta travel. And it's like, even when I've gone places, it's like, the only time I'm not bored is when I'm fighting or when I'm racing. That's the only 2 times I'm never bored. I used to race cars. I have this on my vlog channel, so check it out. Check out my vlog channel. I don't have the videos of me racing. I do have them, actually. They're recorded, but I don't have it on my vlog channel. But anyways, I've gotten way off topic. So, me being the terrible kid I was, I didn't behave good, so I got the red card every single day. And so I wouldn't make any money. Friday come around, all these kids. Literally, I was one of the only kids. Maybe there was one other kid like me that didn't have any money on Friday to buy anything because I just couldn't behave. So I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm never gonna be able to buy anything, you know? And it just like, it's not that I wanted their stupid toys anyways, but I definitely was like, I wanna participate in this, you know? And so, you know, it sucks because you're kind of sitting there by yourself while all the kids get up and like they get like 30 minutes of buying stuff and looking around what they're gonna buy, and they had all this money on them, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, how the fuck do I not how do I not have any of this money? It's because I behave bad? What the fuck? So I was like, fuck that. So you know what I started doing? So I don't know if you guys remember this, GameStop magazines, right? GameStop magazines. So you would sign up for GameStop's like loyalty program or membership program, and they'd send you free magazines every month. And obviously, like, you know, you're in 3rd, 4th grade, like your mom signs up for you when she goes to buy you a video game. You know, they ask for her email and her address, and they'd send her stuff to the house. And so my mom would give me those magazines and just a bunch of video games and games that are coming out. So I was like, I don't know if there's a market for this, but what if I started selling these GameStop magazines for the fake money? Right? Because I don't know, I didn't know if there was anybody in school anyways that signed up for that program or whatever, you know, I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna test this out for the fake money so then I can buy things. So one day I go to school, you know, with the GameStop magazine, and I go up to some kid, I'm like, yo, you wanna buy this magazine? He's like, oh, I don't have money. And I was like, no, like, you know, fake money from class. And he was like, he like took out and he had like this like fat stack because this kid, he behaved good all the time. And like his parents raised him so good because it's like he wouldn't spend it every Friday. He'd wait for the Fridays where he'd have like, you know, things that he actually liked and wanted to buy. He wouldn't just buy random shit on Fridays. Something I would do. Just buy whatever because I got the money to spend this, so why the fuck not? Comes out, you know, I tell him, he takes out like this giant thing of cash. He's like, how much you want for it? And I was like, what the fuck? This kid's actually about to buy this? What? Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, $10, you know, just so I at least make the daily green card, you know? And he goes like, okay, but he had like so much that it was like $10 was nothing to him. So give him the magazine, he buys it from me for $10, right? So I'm like, okay, the magazine works. So I'm gonna keep selling these magazines, right? And I get new ones like once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. So I'm like, it's perfect. Maybe I'll sell it to him. And like, I don't even know if he was reading this. I think he just bought it just because I don't know why. You know, it just seems dumb to buy that rather than buy a toy or a pet. You know, I don't know why he bought it. But anyways, I got more creative with it because I'm in 4th grade. I play with toys and cars and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, well, I have hundreds of Hot Wheels and stuff at home and just a lot of toys. And I don't play with a lot of them and I don't need a lot of them. And I'm like, what if I started selling my toys for this fake money? So I started bringing in Hot Wheels and like random action figures to school and selling them. And I think the kids were buying them because like, yes, they have toys at home, but in class, they have nothing to distract themselves with. You know, because my problem was that it's not like I was sitting there playing with my toy quietly. It's like, no, I was like obnoxious. I'd bother the other kids. I would like blurt out shit, bro. I had like fucking autism or something. I don't know what the fuck. I still probably do. But anyways, I just, you know, I felt like it distracted the kids. Like they would like at least have a toy to play with while they, you know, I wasn't thinking about this back then, but now I'm thinking about that. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But anyways, I've started bringing these toys in. And I'm actually selling these for a lot of fucking money, you know, because now it's like, okay, well, this isn't just a free magazine I'm getting. My parents are paying for this shit. So these kids got to fucking pay up, you know. So now I'm selling these toys for like $25, $50, you know. So that week I sell a bunch of toys, a bunch of magazines, right? I got to the point where I had a friend of mine he wasn't even my friend. Actually, this kid used to pick on me all the time. But somehow I had this motherfucker working for me. Like, I was like, bro, listen. Since you get along with more people in school, like, you know, in this class, right? They're more willing to buy from you. So I will supply you, you sell to the people that don't like me because I was always getting in fights. I told you, I like to fight. So I was always getting in fights and I had a lot of enemies in class, right? So I'm like, if they like you more, and I still made money even having enemies, but you know, there was a target audience I couldn't hit. And I was like, if you sell to them, right? I'm in like 4th grade. I'm like, if you sell to them, I'll let you keep 50% of the profit, right? And he was a decent student. I wouldn't say he was bad, but he wasn't good either. It's like sometimes you get the yellow card, sometimes you get the green, and there were some days he got red. So it's like, you know, he was like a brokey in class, you know? So yeah, he was like, okay, cool. So he started selling the stuff for me and then giving me 50% of the cash. Like, dude, we had a fucking operation going in fucking 4th grade. Like, this is like, I'm a fucking businessman, and it gets crazier than this. So my whole business went downhill. Feels like that's a common thing in my life. But business went downhill because the teacher, when I came on, so this all happened in the span of a week, right? Maybe it started like Tuesday. By like Wednesday, I brought in the toys. Thursday, I was making money, telling that kid to sell to those kids. So I accumulated around like $100, right? This fake cash, which is a lot, you know? So Friday, this is because it's like I'm good at this happens to me even now in my real life. Like I'm smart for so many things, but then like some things I just don't think deep enough into or I don't think about, right? So it's like I'm a really deep thinker, but then I miss out very important things. How the fuck? The teacher knows that I'm always on red almost every single day. She obviously knows that I have no money. You know what my dumbass does? Instead of going like, okay, you know, I'm gonna only spend $10, right? Or like $5, because it would be too obvious if I go in like, I have like all this money. No, I literally go on Friday, the teacher's like, all right, everyone that has money, come up to the desk, like, and just, you know, I'm gonna sell this shit. You know, she got out all toys, pens, pencils, all the bullshit out. I pull up with like my cash and I'm like, I'm gonna get this, as I'm picking the stuff out, she goes like, how do you have money? Like, she's like, how do you have cash? And I was like, what do you mean? I have like the little stack of cash. And she goes like, yeah, how do you have that? There's no way. I've never even given you in the whole year that much. You should have like $20, $30 in total. How do you have 100 in like 1 week? And I was like, that's a good question. I don't even remember what I said. I'm in 4th grade. I don't remember what I said to her. All I know is that I got in trouble. I got sent to the office because I lied and I had to give all the kids their money back because apparently I stole it, which I didn't steal it. I sold them things. So they gave me my toys back and I gave them the money back, except the magazines, you know, because I didn't sell many of those. Those weren't a big, I'm not gonna lie, the magazines weren't a big hit. But the toys, since I was like, selling them for like 20, 30 bucks, I had to give back. And so yeah, that was like the first entrepreneur mindset like that I had, right? I had a problem and I solved it. So then it gets, so I got busted. I couldn't do that anymore because it's like, okay, well, I'm always gonna get caught. Man, it's just too much trouble for me, So I just kept doing the shit I was doing. So then I made some real money one day. Okay. So at this point, right, I think this is now fifth or sixth. No, it's not sixth grade. No, I was in sixth grade. I was in sixth grade. Because the elementary school I went to went from pre-K to sixth grade. But after in sixth grade, I switched to a real middle school. But I was still in sixth grade in elementary school because that elementary school specifically went up to sixth grade. But then I moved to a different town and then I went to a real middle school halfway through my sixth grade. Okay, so you guys remember Bakugans, right? I'm sure you guys remember the little Bakugans. It's like a little ball and it's a monster and you roll it onto like this magnetic card and it like opens up, right? They're fucking expensive as shit. They were like 10 bucks, $9.99 I think for like one Bakugan. Okay, so everybody had these Bakugans, right? And we were like battle all the time with the Bakugans, this and that. And I somehow, I don't even know how, I got lucky that my mom one day bought me this like rare Bakugan. It was like this black dragon. It was like black and purple. It actually looked pretty sick. It was like my favorite one. And she bought me it. And like they had it at Walmart, but I'm saying I got lucky because it was like a rare one and then I just randomly had it at Walmart. So I was pretty sick. And she bought it for me. Like I said, it was like 10 bucks. And, battling this Mexican kid. And he goes like, whoa, dude, you got that Bakugan? Like, how'd you get that? And I was like, I just bought it at Walmart. And he goes like, whoa, that's sick, whatever. I'm trying to remember the story. I'm like in sixth grade. This was a couple years ago. So then, him and I battle. He goes home. I guess, I don't know. He said he went to Walmart. Right? Like he made his mom take him to Walmart, I guess, because he's not going to go there by himself. We're in sixth grade. So he goes to Walmart. He said he went to Walmart and he couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm telling you, I just bought it there. I guess maybe I got lucky they had it. And he goes like, I'll buy it off of you for 20 bucks. And I was like, that's 20 real dollars. This is not the fake cash from class. 20 real dollars. And I was like, 20 bucks? My mom bought it for 10. I'm like, that's actually pretty good. That's, 10 extra dollars I'm making. And I'm like, 25. It's yours. He's like, all right. So he bought it off of me for 25 bucks. So now he had the cool Bakugan, right? I go home and I'm like, Mom, whenever you go to Walmart again, please take me with you. I want to go grocery shopping with you. She has no idea about this. This is like a mission I got. So I still had a bunch of other Bakugans, by the way. I go to Walmart with her like some day that week. And I find another one just like that one, same black and purple. Like, I don't know, maybe this kid wasn't going to the right Walmart or something. So I find it, I buy it, right, with my 25 bucks. My mom didn't even question how I got the money either. That's what's funny. She didn't even question how I got the $25. But, I saw it, bought it for 10 bucks. I saw this other one that looked pretty cool. And I've seen from the show that one was also kind of rare. So I bought that one for like another $10. Right, so now 20 bucks in total. I basically got left with like 5 bucks. After taxes, maybe like $2, $3. So I'm like, shit, I hope I sell this shit. Because I just burned 25 bucks, my whole money, basically. But on 2 Bakugans. So I come back to school the next day, I'm like, bro, look, I found another one. I'm like, this shit, bro. I'm like, if you know anyone that wants to buy them, because like no one in school has these except you and I now. And he goes like, bro, I was just talking to this other kid and he doesn't have one. And he was like, yo, how did you get that? Where'd you get it? And I'm like, bro, I'll sell it to him for 25 bucks too. And he goes like, really? And I'm like, yeah, bro, absolutely. So he goes and he talks to the other kid and he brings the other kid over. And the other kid's like, man, yeah, I'll give you 20. Bro, I don't know how these kids got $25 cash on their wallet. I don't got that kind of money. Like, bro, my parents did not give me lunch money at all. Never. I never, ever got lunch money once. Maybe like for like Christmas or like my birthday or some shit, but not like an everyday thing, My parents didn't have money like that, so I just didn't get lunch money when I was in sixth grade. I think actually my parents were divorced at the time even. Anyways, like, yeah, my parents were already divorced, so yeah, it was just my mom. So, let me check this real quick, make sure. Right? I sell this other kid, the same Bakugan for 25 bucks. And I'm like, but hold on guys, I have this other one. And I pop out the other one. I'm like, this one's pretty fucking rare too. I'm like, I haven't seen that shit anywhere in school, to be honest. And they're looking at it and they're like, yeah, yeah, I've seen a couple kids with it. It's not that rare. And I'm like, listen, 15 bucks. So now the profit margin isn't that great on this one, but still, like I already sold this one for 25. Like, okay, so I sold one for 25, sold another one for 25. Now I sell this one for an extra $5. For me as a kid, dude, that was perfect. I could fucking eat lunch. Like, I had the free lunch from school, but that shit was trash. Like, I wanted the fucking real shit. The real shit motherfuckers was actually eating, the good food. So I'm like, fuck it, dude, $5, I could buy a fucking cookie and some fucking, bro, what the fuck were those sticks with cheese in them? The Bosco sticks? Dude, I could buy some Bosco sticks, a fucking chocolate chip cookie, and some chips for $5. That's a good deal for me. So I'm like, look, I'll sell you this one for 15 bucks. That's a good deal. Do you agree? And he goes like, the one that I originally sold to, he's like, no, I don't want it. But the other kid's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll bring it tomorrow. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep the Bakugan though. I'm not giving you this shit. Bring it tomorrow, because then I'm going to have to fuck you up, Because, dude, I was like notorious in school for fighting. Everyone knew I liked to fight and I fought everyone, I got beat up sometimes. I wasn't the toughest kid, all right? I got my ass kicked a couple times, but I like to fight. So even if they could kick my ass, they just don't want to deal with getting in trouble going to the office. Like, I didn't give a fuck about that. Like, I'd go to the office, OSS, great, I get to fucking stay home, what the fuck? So I wasn't worried about it. I was willing to risk it all, But anyways, yeah, he comes back the next day, buys a Bakugan for 15 bucks. So now I'm sitting here with, 40 bucks. And I'm like, damn, bro, I'm fucking making money off these kids. So then this was the final hit. I go back to the Walmart, right? When my mom, I'm not saying that I made my mom go to Walmart. That shit don't work like that in Cuban households, right? You gotta wait for her to go. You can never tell your mom in Cuban households, hey mom, can you take me to Walmart to buy a toy? Fuck no, she'll never take you. She just, whenever she's gonna do groceries, if you go with her, because she needs help with the groceries anyways, I'd go with her. So I'd go with her on one of those random grocery days. I go and buy the Bakugans. Right? Like I saw the purple and black one again. I saw another one, just one this time though. And then I bought 3 other ones that were kind of rare. I don't remember exactly the specs. Like I don't remember. But yeah, now I'm coming to school with 4 Bakugans. Okay? Go to school with the 4 Bakugans. Long story short, I sold the purple and black one to another kid for 25 bucks, right? And then I sold all the other ones for 20 bucks. Like, do you guys understand this? I had like now just at this point made $100 fucking dollars. Like this was crazy, or like $80. I had made $80. And I'm like, dude, oh my God, this is in a span of like a week, maybe 2 weeks, in 2 weeks. I'm like $80 fucking dollars. I'm in 6th grade, bro. $80 is fucking life-changing money for me. Bro, I could eat lunch every fucking day. So another day, my mom goes to Walmart, go buy more Bakugans, right? And fuck, what happened? I don't remember. I'm like I keep trying to like in my head as I'm speaking, trying to remember what exact Bakugans I bought. Like the colors and stuff, but I just don't remember. I know now at this point that black and purple one I couldn't find or whatever, like it's just, at this point I'm not even selling that one anymore because it's rare. Sometimes you go to Walmart and they don't got it. But anyways, I bought like 6, right? Because I didn't want to burn through all my money. Buying Bakugans because I had to burn through some of that money, flexing on kids in school with the hot Cheetos and the Bosco sticks, So I'm like, I'm gonna at least try to keep like 20 bucks. So kept 20 bucks, bought 6 of them, and I fucking sold those 6 Bakugans. Some I sold for 15, some I sold for 20 bucks. Now at this point, cash in my hands, I have like $150 or like 130 bucks, something, whatever. I was over $100. So I'm like, bro. So my mom at the time worked in the school cafeteria. So she was like, and I know it's like, okay, well, how the fuck did you not get free lunch or whatever if your mom works there? It's like, bro, she can't steal to fucking give me the free food, you fucking idiots. So whoever says that, you're fucking dumb. She'll lose her job. Like I got the free school lunch, like everybody got the free school lunch, but that shit was trash. Tasted like shit, all right? So I wanted the fucking, the Bosco sticks, bro. That shit was like my shit. The Bosco sticks and the chocolate chip cookies. I still love chocolate chip cookies to this day. Actually, today I ate 2 of them when I shouldn't even be eating fucking chocolate chip cookies. But anyways, after school one day, this is the day I got the 130 bucks, bro. Just fucking balling. And I'm like, bro, I got 130 fucking dollars on me, bro. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I had to tell someone, you know, because like I didn't have a lot of friends. You know, I'm selling these kids. This is all business, bro. I didn't have friends though, because like I said, I fought too many kids. I was kind of like an outcast a little bit, you know. I just didn't like click with anyone. So I didn't have anyone to tell, like, oh, look, I got all this money, you know. Like I said, I had one friend, but he wasn't like really my friend like that. It was just like I would talk to him a lot because he was kind of like, you know, also like me a little bit. But he still at least had more friends than me. So I'm like, I gotta tell someone. Who am I gonna tell? My mom, right? Because my sister was too young. She wasn't gonna understand. So I'm like, I gotta tell my mom. She's gonna be so proud of me. So I come with like $130 after school, you know, to the cafeteria to meet up with my mom because she waited for me there. I'm like, mom, look, I fucking made $130 selling Bakugans, you know? And she's like, she got so mad at me. She's like, what the fuck? No, return that money and get what? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I bought this shit like myself. What the fuck? You know, like I was kind of pissed. I was like, dude, like I literally just freaking sold one. I bought another and kept selling it and kept doing that. Like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm like, this is like, I made this money for real. And she couldn't believe it. She was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, like you can go talk to the kids. They're playing with their fucking Bakugans, you know, like, and she's like, but don't you want them? Like, they're your toys. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. Look, if I don't got money, I ain't buying more toys. And I know I said I had a lot of toys, right? But they were like, you know, guys, as a kid, this is going to sound so fucking first world America shit, right? Because there's kids in other countries that don't like have zero toys. But I didn't have the fucking toys I wanted, all right? I had like the cheaper Hot Wheels, like, you know, like the plastic ones. You guys know there was like the metal Hot Wheels and then there was a plastic ones, right? I had a couple metal ones, but like mainly all plastic ones, right? My toys were cheap. And yeah, I just didn't have like the greatest toys. So I'm like, with this money, I could buy expensive toys. Okay, not some cheap shit. And I didn't really care too much about Bakugan anyways because I was a Beyblade. I like the fucking Beyblades. Why did I like the Beyblade? Because Bakugan is gay. All right, it's like Pokemon, right? Or Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I never fucked with any of that shit. I played Pokemon like the DS, right? But imagine card games where you just imagine shit. And you're like, oh yeah, 80 points here, 90 points here. You know, like you lose your card, graveyard, bullshit, right? Bakugans, you roll it, you pretend like they're fighting in your head. But Beyblades, you fucking unleash those motherfuckers in a circle and they bump into each other and then like whoever keeps spinning wins, but at least you see action, right? It's like, you know, you seeing fucking things happening in action. So that's what I fucked with, Beyblades. So with this money, I was planning on buying Beyblades and Webkins. I fucking loved Webkins at the time. Wait, no, because I was already, no, Webkins, no, not when I was in 6th grade. I wasn't a Webkins kid in 6th grade. Was I? No, I was not. I was not. That my Webkins phase ended in 4th grade. Maybe kind of late, actually. Dude, I may be autistic. But anyways, so, yeah, I just wanted to buy some fucking Beyblades. And Beyblades were more expensive than Bakugans, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, yeah, my mom let me keep the money. But she kind of threw a fit about it. She wanted me to return it. I didn't return it. I was like, I'm not fucking returning it. Like, I earned this shit. You know, I fucking sold these kids. I hustled these fucking Mexican kids. Because they were all Mexicans. Like, in this school, it was like all Mexicans and Haitians. I was the only Cuban there. Literally, the only Cuban in that school. Me. So, yeah. Meaning, I was like the only light-skinned motherfucker in the whole school. So, it's like, that's probably why I also didn't have a lot of friends. Because, like, nobody fucked with me. Because I was kind of, like, weird and outcast. You know? But it's like I hustled these fucking Mexican kids, bro, because they always got fucking cash on them. And I just, you know, sold them my shit. They fucking bought it, made some cash. And I would say those two, like, situations were what kind of shaped me into, like, always business oriented, you know? Like, entrepreneur. And then from there, my next entrepreneur thing, I would say a pivotal moment in my life was when I was 16, I crashed my red Mustang. I had a red 2004 Mustang, piece of shit, automatic. I feel terrible saying that because my mom bought it for me with her hard-earned money. You know, I actually feel terrible saying that. That's fucked up. You know, it wasn't a piece of shit. It was a decent car. But the reality was it was kind of a piece of shit. But I chose it. I just didn't know shit about cars at the time. So I was like 15 at the time. You know, I had my permit. And that means you can't drive without someone 21 and over, you know, in the passenger seat. So I had my permit, but my parents bought me the car because I was turning 16 pretty soon, or my mom did. And so it was like $4,000. She paid for it, you know, kind of just pretty cheap for a car. Had 120,000 miles, so it wasn't even that bad. So when I turned 16, get to start driving the car, right? And me, like I told you guys, I'm bored all the time. I get bored of everything. Like what regular people find fun, I find boring. So what do? I start racing because I like to speed because it makes my life exciting and it makes me feel alive, you know? Takes the boredom away. So speeding in this car all the time, racing, doing donuts, burnouts, all this shit, you know, a 16-year-old kid with a car does. 6 months into owning this car, actually I'm pretty surprised it even lasted that long. I get in a car accident and I rear end a Prius, okay? And my whole car gets totaled completely destroyed. So at this point, I have no car. And I had just gotten a job because at the time I was working at Kmart. My mom was like, I'm only buying you a car if you work. You have to work and I'll buy you a car. So I got a job at Kmart at 15. She'd take me to work at first, and then once I started driving, you know, I just drove myself to work. So I'd get out of school, go to work at Kmart. But then Kmart got shut down. You guys know Kmart doesn't exist anymore. So I got a job at Publix. And that's literally the same week I got the job at Publix, I crashed the fucking car. So yeah, now the car's totaled. And my mom's pissed because she's like, dude, like now I have to take you to school. I gotta fucking take you to work, you know, all this shit. And I'm like, damn, bro, I felt terrible. I was like, bro, what the fuck, man? And I have fucking put in it, bro, I literally spent my whole earnings that I had ever made at Kmart, you know, like putting an exhaust on this car. I know it was a V6, but I just, you know, bro, I was 16, all right? So I wanted to put a fucking exhaust on it. So I put the exhaust, you know, dual exhaust, spent like $800 on that. Fucking crazy, bro. It was literally all the money I had for then me to crash the fucking car. And that was pretty sad. So I crashed the car. It had so many cool stickers on it too. Like I had a bunch of like stickers on it. It was pretty gay. It was pretty stupid. Like I was a fucking loser. That car was fucking, I had it riced the fuck out. I riced the thing out. So anyways, I crashed the car and my mom was like, yeah, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, now I gotta fucking take you to school, take you to work, you know? And I'm like, shit, like, fuck, like, what do I do now? But luckily, I had an uncle. He was like, look, I'll let you borrow my car. Like, it's like, he had a lot of money, all right? And he just had this Corolla sitting there. Like, it was like literally rusting away, 280,000 miles. And he goes like, look, I'll let you borrow the car. And when you're done with it, just give it back. And I was like, all right. So I'm like getting this piece of shit Corolla. So it was like a downgrade from a radio downgrade, right? And I'm going to work. I'm like, my mom's like, well, you got to save up and buy another car now. And I'm like, bro, $4,000? How am I going to save up $4,000 working at Publix, making like $200 a week? And every time I get paid, I burn my whole paycheck like on stupid shit, you know? Like, fuck. So, yeah, I just start saving, trying to save, but I really wasn't saving. And I go on YouTube one day because I'm going to work and I'm so depressed. I'm like, fuck, dude, I just got out of school, woke up at 6 in the morning, went to school, like got off at 2:05. All my other friends are going to play sports and hang out, go home, you know. At this point, I'm living here in Naples, so I actually like, my parents don't have a lot of money, or like my mom doesn't have a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure I'm living with my grandma and my mom, but I have like, you know, like we don't have a lot of money. We're a family with just, you know, not low income. But all my friends in the school I went to all had money. Like their parents were like doctors and pharmacists and lawyers and all this bullshit. So it's like, you know, they get to go home and play like the latest console, whatever. The only cool thing I had was the car. Now I don't have it. So now I'm a fucking loser, you know, because I'm driving this piece of shit Corolla. This is at least like how I thought at the time, all right? And I mean, it's true. It's true. I was kind of a loser now. So I had like no motivation. I'm like, dude, I can't. I don't want to go to work to fucking make no money because I'm just never going to fucking buy another car. Long story short, I go on YouTube and I type in motivational video. I don't know why what possessed me to do that. I just needed the motivation. So I type in motivational video, run into Tony Robbins. That's who I run it. Was it Tony Robbins? Okay, so yeah, I started listening to his videos, and one quote that I heard in his videos, which is what transformed my brain, was he said, 90 percent or like 90-95% of people on earth hate their lives and they're unhappy with themselves and they hate going to work every single day, you know? And I'm like, wait a minute, that's me. And I'm only 16. So now I know like what the fuck, like the rest of my life is gonna be like this. Like this is fucking crazy. I'm like, I don't want to fucking live the rest of my life fucking hating my life, being depressed, like having to go to work to a place I don't want to go work in and like make no money and be poor. You know, like just listening to this kind of like, I was like, what the, I remember like in that very moment, I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, did you know like 95% of people hate their lives? You know, because like this was like crazy, you know? I'm like, you know, 95% of like people hate their job and hate their life and like this and that. And she goes like, yeah, I mean, I do. You know, she's like, I hate my job, but you got to do what you got to do. Like whatever it is what it is. And I'm like, no, fuck that. What the fuck? Like, no, no, it's not fucking happening. There's no fucking way. I see fucking musicians all the time, ultra successful people that love what they do, you know, and work hard every single day, but they like what they do to a certain extent. I know some days are not, you know, like everyone has boring days, even when they're doing something they love. Like I said, I like to fight. I train MMA. I don't like to hit the pads. I don't like to shadow box. I don't like to run. I don't really even like to lift weights, you know, but I like the fighting and I know that's going to make me better. So I can deal with the bullshit so I can, when I do fight, it's, you know, I'm a lot better because I do like to win. You know, like I'm super competitive. That's what I love. Honestly, I love competition. That's like what keeps me alive, competing. So yeah, I found this out and I'm like, dude, that's fucking bullshit. Fuck that. And that's what kind of like in my mind where I'm like, I have to get rich. I have to fucking be rich. I need, like, if I'm not fucking rich, fuck all this shit. I'm not gonna go through life being a brokey. You know, like I just couldn't do it. When I heard that, I was more aiming towards, I was like really, really into cars at the time and into making YouTube videos. Well, that's another thing. So with the YouTube videos, how that started, but like I said, I wasn't looking at this like in an entrepreneurial way. I just genuinely loved at the time when I was like 13, 14, I loved playing Call of Duty. So I would play Call of Duty like every day after school. And I started like making YouTube videos, like Call of Duty YouTube videos. Maybe I was younger. Maybe I was like actually like 12. I started making Call of Duty YouTube videos. So it's like I always wanted to make videos and for people to watch my videos, but I hated how I sounded on the mic. And I just, like the videos were terrible and I knew they were terrible. But I still uploaded a couple of them. If you really do some digging on YouTube, you'll find them. They were terrible and there's some I can't even find. Like I can't even log into the account to delete them. So it sucks. But anyways, those, you know, that was, I was already like really into YouTube. So when I was 16, I started kind of filming a little bit of YouTube videos with my car and stuff. And maybe when I was 17. Yeah, when I was 17, I was already filming some videos with my car. But again, I was like very camera shy. I sucked at editing and I just wasn't, you know, I don't know, the videos were not good at all. So in fact, in the channel with 2,500 subscribers that I told you guys about, that's where I have my what's it called? That's where I have like my first couple, actually no, I deleted the first original ones, but there were some few from when I was 17 that were still on that channel. And I still have them. They're like saved on YouTube because they were archived. You know, I didn't actually delete them. They're on private, sorry, they're on private. So I could maybe one day messing around, I might upload a couple of them if, you know, whatever. But yeah, so it's like I always like wanted to do YouTube. That was like always my shit that I wanted to do. I just like, I don't know, I just was so scared of like people judging me and I don't know why I never did it. I did do it and I would upload and then, you know, I would just delete the videos or I would just, you know, because they were actually not good, honestly. If people did judge me on them, I don't blame them. They were fucking trash, to be honest. But then when I was around 21, 20, I got my 5.0 2012 Coyote Mustang and I bought that car and I started modding, I started doing videos with that and I actually started leaving those videos and then, yeah, my life got really good for a second there, you know? But it's all good. Now I'm a lot happier, you know? That has nothing to do with this, that'll be for a separate thing. But anyways, that's how I started my entrepreneur journey. Just that, like always making YouTube videos. I've always been interested in like, you know, inspiring other people. Always. There's a clip of mine in one of my old YouTube videos. I still have it on my phone actually, because it's just, you know, talking like while I was like 16 and I was talking why I want to be famous, and I was literally saying because I want to inspire other people. you know, and it's because I do. Like, that's why I made this podcast and why I want to have Jose, because I think he's good for that. And why I vlog, I do have the vlog channel, because I feel like my journey, once I get into more depth without getting too personal, just into some depth of my entrepreneur journey and my self-improvement journey, I think there's a lot of things that can inspire a lot of people. My biggest issue is always, and I think it's because of how my mind works, sometimes I have trouble articulating. Also, let me just say this. English is my second language. I learned Spanish first. So I know it may not seem like it, but it's true. So I sometimes have trouble articulating certain words and describing certain things so people can understand. And sometimes I talk too much and I explain way too many things that don't need to be explained. So a reason I kind of had slowed down for a second on doing this stuff is because I wanted to get better at speaking and just that. I just want to get better at speaking, but I'm like, I'm not going to get better if I'm not behind a camera and actually putting the content out and like taking the risk and practicing. That's how I'm going to get better. I'm not going to get better just, going like, oh, I have to get better at speaking. It's like, I'm never going to get better at speaking if I'm not actually doing this. And I don't have a lot of friends. Still, to this day, wow, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? I still don't have a lot of friends. Holy shit, man. I'm not a loser. All right, like, because I'm like, what the fuck? No, I'm not a loser. But the people that are in my life, the 2 to 3 people in my life are my fucking ride or dies. Those people will literally, I would say 2 of them. Those people will literally die for me. They will take a bullet for me. So it's like, that's why I don't have a lot of friends, because if you're not willing to die for me, and I'll die for you, don't worry about that. But if you're not willing to die for me, and we're not like brothers, it's like super, super, super tight, then I don't want the shit. I don't want the relationship. I don't want none. I just don't want it. I don't have a lot of friends also because I've noticed I used to have a lot of friends like a year ago or 2 years ago. I had a lot more friends and a lot more people in my life, but they all took advantage of me, At the time I was doing financially pretty good. And the moment I wasn't doing financially good, everyone kind of stopped talking to me, and just fucking, that's it. They just cut me off. Because now I'm not doing financially good. Now I'm not in the race anymore. So, and it's fine. It's, that's what the comeback is for, But yeah, that's why I don't have a lot of friends. Because of that bullshit. And I know, like, it's like, shit happens, bro. And I don't know. I just don't fucking like how people think. Like I said, oh, you know what? It's what I keep telling you guys. I'm so bored of everything in life and in society because everyone's so boring. Everyone talks about the same shit. Everyone talks about shit I don't care about. Like, imagine people, have time to work, get off work, go home and watch Netflix for a couple hours and watch shows, and then go to work and talk about that show. I can't do that. I can't watch a show. Maybe I can watch a movie and talk about a movie, right? But not a show. I can't sit there for hours of my life listening to a show. I don't know. Like, that just seems so boring to me. I don't know. I feel like people just don't have anything interesting to talk about. And also, like, the gym. I feel like a lot of people now, that's their whole personality. I go to the gym. I work out. That's all I do. I work out, and that's all I'm going to talk about. It's like, dude, it's good. Please go to the gym every single day. I absolutely agree with that. But that can't be your personality. Does that make sense? Like, because I don't know. I don't want to hear about it. But there's a lot of people that do want to hear about it. Because people are fucking boring. Oh yeah, bro, you hit chest? How many sets did you do? Oh, bro, you're benching 155? Wow, bro, that's sick. Or you hit 225? Nice, bro. And it's like, bro, like, how can we talk about this stuff? Like, yes, I do this every day. I bench, I do this, I fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, a fight, that's cool, That's cool to talk about. Like, that's the only thing I watch, actually, UFC, pretty much. Just fighting, boxing or UFC. It's the only shit that's worth watching. It's the only thing that keeps me entertained, watching my favorite fighters fucking fight. Other than that, just, bored of everything. It was the same thing when I was in school, the shit people talked about, like the school drama and all that shit, bro. I didn't give a fuck about any of that. That shit was boring as fuck, bro. My mom was poor. I was poor. I didn't know if I was gonna fucking, like, where my next meal was coming from. There was points in my life where I was living like this, where I didn't know when my next meal was gonna come, as a kid, as like a fucking 12-year-old. you know? And people are talking about school drama, and bro, I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I was fucking mad. I was angry, bro. I used to get in fights all the time, 24/7, always getting in a fight with somebody because I was just mad. And so somebody would try to bully me or pick on me, then I would just straight up snap and like, boom, swinging. We're fighting now. So, but you know, I will say anytime I have had like 1 or 2 friends, it's always been a ride or die situation. It's always been like, we're so fucking tight. Nothing's gonna, you know, like it's like, because I build those type of relationships with people, you know, like I focus more on quality over quantity, right? So I focus like when I do have friends or people in my life, they're fucking ride or die. They will, it's, you know, it's that type of situation. So that's why I don't really, you know, you can't build that with anybody. That takes certain specific special people to build that with. So, and sometimes it's been people that don't even share my vision, right? In terms of like certain things that I think or ideas that I believe in. There's certain people that don't share that with me, but are still, you know, we're still super tight. So yeah, that's pretty much my life summed up my entrepreneur life, right? How the fuck I got into this entrepreneur shit. So, man, that's kind of long explanation. No one's gonna watch this unless I become famous, and then they'll watch it and they'll want to know how the fuck I got into this shit, right? Other than that, no one's gonna give a fuck. Cause I mean, I wouldn't give a fuck, bro, if I just like watch some random fucking guy's podcast. But at the same time, I'm different because I feel like I can help a lot of people out. And one special ability I developed recently in the past year, ever since I've been on self-improvement, is I don't really give a fuck what anybody says or what anybody thinks. That's like one ability. I still sometimes struggle to fight it, but for the most part, I really don't care. I don't care. Anybody can say whatever, think whatever they want. I don't, it doesn't faze me. And I feel like now that I have that ability, it makes me better to make these videos because I feel like I can help people, you know? I feel like having that is such an important thing to have. You know, and I know some days you wake up and you're like, yo, yeah, fuck everybody. I'm going to get shit done. And like, I don't care what anybody thinks. But then you wake up some days and you do care, you know, or deep down you still kind of do low key. But you need, like, getting over that is so important. And I feel like I can help a lot of people that are starting self-improvement / on it, that are wanting to give up / people that are wanting to start businesses, people that, you know, just want to be better and want to be good. Just be the best version of themselves. I feel like I'm not the best version of myself. There's still a lot of things I need to fix about myself, but I'm willing to share it with you guys and hope it inspires somebody, because just seeing me transform and seeing my journey and me become better, I feel it can inspire a lot of fucking people. And I used to think this thought. I used to think this all the time. How can I become someone great? How can I blow up on the internet and be successful when there's already guys that are talking about the same things I'm talking about? But then I realized that shit's been going on for years and years and years. Like self-improvement, entrepreneurship, those subjects have been on YouTube for like 7 years, right? Or maybe more. And yet there's still like, almost it feels like every day, someone in that niche is popping off, right? And then I'm like, why? Why? Are they saying anything differently? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna say the same exact shit that Andrew Tate says, that Iman Gotzi says, that Hamza says, that fucking, like all these guys, that Luke Belmore says. Like basically it's the same shit. You know what the difference is? That I'm not at their level yet. So I'm more relatable. You know, I'm here with a 2015 Mac, right? In this meeting room, that's not my fucking meeting room inside my house, right? I'm not rich. I'm wearing a $200 watch, which is not a lot. And if someone says, bro, what? That's pretty nice, $200. It's like, bro, if you don't have $200 to spend on a watch, you're almost a lost cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's like, but just buy a decent watch for yourself. It's not that fucking hard. But yeah, like I feel like I'm pretty relatable. I'm like almost getting there to like where I want to get, and I feel like I can help a lot of people. I'm still very relatable. I'm putting my journey out there, and I feel like that's how people keep popping off, because everyone that keeps popping off is at my point. So we're still relatable, but we're getting ahead. Like we're still ahead of a lot of people, but we're still like relatable to a lot of people. So then we get a lot of viewership because these other bigger bigger fish aren't relatable to people anymore. Like, nobody's got a fucking Bugatti. Like, nobody's got a fucking buying their mom a $4 million house, a Rolls Royce, Not a lot of people don't have that. Like 90% of the people don't have that. So the fact that I don't have that, but yet I'm speaking the message, talking about it, helps me garner more attention than those guys sometimes, because I'm relatable and they see me and they're like, whoa, look, I saw Alex go from this to this. It's possible, and it gives that inspiration. So I feel like that's why I could probably do very, very good in this niche and just making videos in general about this type of subject. And obviously I'll switch things up and I'll do different things too, because I don't only want to stick to this. I want to talk about everything. I like to talk about things going on right now. Like, what I'm really excited about? I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I like the sport of fight. Yeah. What did you say? The sport of fighting? Yeah, just like MMA, boxing, I love it. So one person that's fighting right now that I'm like, not one person, a fight that I'm excited to see right now, although it's stupid and it's like influencer boxing, is Logan Paul versus KSI and wait, is it Logan? No, it's Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis and KSI versus Tommy Fury, which I don't really care too much about the KSI versus Tommy Fury situation. I do really want to watch the Dylan versus Logan, because Dylan talks a lot of shit, but I kind of like it because he's actually pretty good at talking shit. And Logan Paul's kind of a bitch. I don't fuck with Logan Paul, and I just don't like him, bro. I like Jake. Jake's pretty cool, but Logan, man, he's a fucking scumbag. I don't know. He seems fake. Like, he gives me this energy of a certain type of person that I've met before in my life that I didn't fuck with at all. Same exact energy. They pretend to be like the good guy and like the hero and like the nice guy, but they're fucking pieces of shit deep down. That's where guys like Jake, and I would include myself in that, and Tate, I wouldn't include Iman or Luke Belmore because they're actually pretty good guys. But the people I just mentioned, we're like honestly who we are, and we don't give a fuck, and there's some bad with us and then there's some good, and it's out there and we say what the fuck we think, and it is what it is. But Logan, in certain people, right, like if I'm like, I don't fuck with transgender people, right? I don't literally mean I don't fuck with transgender. If I see a transgender walking through that door right now, it doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, oh my God, get the fuck away from me, you piece of shit. No, I'm gonna treat them normal, like a fucking human, right? Because at the end of the day, they're a human. Now, do I agree that they're a woman? No, I think they're still a fucking man. They still think like a man for the most part. And biologically, they're a man. Do I support the LGBTQ community, what they do in trying to put shit in schools, trying to force that shit onto people? No, fuck no, I don't like that shit. But if a transgender comes in here right now and I'm fucking doing the podcast and I want to interview someone that I found interesting, but they're trans, I'll fucking do the interview. I don't give a fuck. As long as they're not trying to put that shit on me, trying to tell me what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. That's where I cross the line. But if they don't do that, I don't give a fuck. Right? But some people will get offended with me just saying, oh, them trying to impose that shit on me, right? Or them trying to like put that shit in schools, right? Because at the end of the day, I will treat a transgender person politely, and I'll be nice to them and I won't disrespect them. But I also fully understand that I'm not going to call them a her, because you're a man. So I'm going to be like, sir, and they're going to be mad at me. They're going to be like, no, I'm a woman. And I'll be like, but I guess that is disrespectful to them. So I guess maybe I would disrespect them. I don't know. I guess, fuck, I guess I would then. That was a bad example, But my point is that I'm going to be fucking honest about my opinions and what I believe in. And I'm not going to pretend to be some nice guy that's like, oh yeah, no, fuck that. This is what I am. This is who I am. These are the things I believe in. If you don't fuck with it, good. If you do fuck with it, great, we can get along. If you don't fuck with it, then we can still get along, but we're probably not gonna get along. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why people like us have a lot of people that don't like us, but in reality, people do like us because they're like, oh, at least they're honest. As for people like Logan, they may have like a lot of surface people like him, but people that are actually fucking smart and intelligent, they're going to look at them and they're going to be like, you're not that good guy you think you are. Because anybody that says, oh, I'm a good guy, I'm a good person, and like, I don't know. I feel like if you're a good person, you show it through your actions. just be a good person. Show, like, I want to see the actions of you being a good person, and then I'll believe you. But if you're not about the action, then, actions speak louder than words. I know Tate says that, but he's got the fucking proof. His actions have spoken for him already, so he can talk all the shit he wants. But I feel like Logan, for example, has so much shit that it's like, bro, I don't believe that you're a good fucking person. It's like they told him this motherfucker went and bought a private jet, but he didn't fucking pay back the people for that Zootopia bullshit or whatever, Crypto Zoo. He's like, oh, I'm working on it. Bro, it's $1 million or like $1.7 million he has to pay back. I promise you that jet was way more expensive. So, yeah, I don't know. I drank this whole coffee and I really want a fucking cigar. But anyways, that is my introduction to my life, to my entrepreneur life and what I'm doing. I guess to catch you guys up right now on what is currently my entrepreneur life. Currently right now, I'm going through a bit of a rough patch in my journey, and without getting too deep and personal, I've changed directions on where I want to take my business a couple times. I'm not gonna lie, and I just found definitely the place I want to go for sure. The way I want to take my business. And I think I'm going to stick with that hardcore because it's something I know about a lot, and I feel like it's something I can transform into something really, really big. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and I'll be more. I think I can do a whole episode in the business that I do, maybe I can't do a whole episode because then it get too specific. And it's not that I'm like, oh, people are gonna copy me, and it's not that. It's just like I don't want people calling in my business and trolling and doing all this bullshit. I don't want to be super specific on what I do. So I don't know. And also, if you see on my bio on YouTube, it says real estate because I do real estate as well. Like I want to get into it, right? Into like buying properties. And, all right, so this camera fucking died. This camera sucks. Like, anyways, so I want to get into like the real estate side of things where it comes to like buying properties and flipping them and stuff like that, and then renting not houses out like single family houses, but duplex and things like that, But I'm not super well versed in that business, so maybe if I were to talk about it, I would maybe have someone. All right, so this camera is not cooperating with me. Anyways, like I said, I'd have someone on the show come and talk about those things. But that'll probably sum up this episode. It's been extremely long anyways, so I'll catch you guys in the next episode. I know it's super unprofessional, right? I'm here on my freaking iPhone camera doing this like this. I'll see you guys in the next episode. It'll probably come out. So if this one's gonna come out this week on Friday, the next one, maybe we'll make it next Friday, right? Next Friday sounds good. And then we'll have Jose on there, and that'll be a good podcast. Anyways, or good show, because I do want to make it live. So I don't want to make it a podcast because I don't know if podcasts aren't live. They're pre-recorded. But I eventually want to get into doing lives and answering questions. So for now, it is a podcast. I'll see you guys in the next episode.